Picture this, a small apartment in Kyoto. The morning sun slips through thin paper curtains. A man in his early 40s sits quietly at a wooden table. His breakfast is simple. Rice, miso soup, green tea, nothing expensive. Nothing impressive. His wallet sits beside him. Inside is enough money to buy almost anything he wants. And yet later that day, he will walk past luxury stores without stopping. He will ignore discounts. He will leave shopping malls empty-handed. Not because he is poor, not because he is afraid, because he sees money differently. That difference is difficult for most people to understand. Around the world, millions of people earn more than they did 5 years ago, yet many feel more anxious, more trapped, and more stressed. The paycheck grows, but the savings do not. The purchases become bigger, but the satisfaction becomes smaller. Somewhere along the way, spending starts to feel automatic. You see something, you want it, you buy it, a moment of excitement, then silence, then the search for the next thing. But in Japan, many people grow up with a different relationship to money, a relationship shaped not by endless consumption but by intention. Hidden inside that mindset are powerful lessons that can completely change the way you think about wealth. The question is not how much money Japanese people make. The real question is why so many of them avoid wasting it. And the answer begins with a centuries-old idea. Most people believe money problems are caused by a lack of income. Sometimes that is true, but often the problem runs deeper because spending is rarely logical. It is emotional. You do not buy a new jacket because you need fabric. You buy a feeling. You buy status, security, comfort, hope, and sometimes a different version of yourself. Modern advertising understands this perfectly. Every day, thousands of messages compete for your attention. Each one whispers the same promise. Buy this, then you will feel complete. Yet research repeatedly shows that the emotional boost from new purchases fades surprisingly quickly. The excitement disappears, the object remains, and the cycle starts again. This creates a dangerous illusion, the illusion that more spending will eventually create peace. But what if peace comes first? What if wealth is not created by buying more but by wanting less? This is where the first Japanese concept enters the story. The word is Mottainai, pronounced Mottainai. Its meaning is often translated as what a waste, but not merely in the financial sense. It refers to the waste of resources, effort, time, and value. In Japanese culture, Mottainai carries a sense of respect. Respect for objects, respect for labor, respect for the hidden journey behind every possession. Imagine holding a simple shirt. Most people see a piece of clothing. Mottainai asks you to see the cotton that was grown, the workers who stitched it together, the energy used to transport it, and the resources consumed to create it. Suddenly, throwing it away feels different. Studies on sustainable consumption in Japan have shown that people who embrace the Mottainai mindset are more likely to repair, reuse, and maintain possessions rather than constantly replace them. But the deeper lesson is psychological. Every unnecessary purchase steals something, not just money but attention, freedom, and mental space. The more things you own, the more things begin to own pieces of you, more cleaning, more organizing, more maintenance, more decisions. Mottainai breaks that cycle by teaching appreciation, and appreciation often feels better than acquisition. Before buying anything, pause and ask yourself one question. Am I buying value or am I buying a feeling? That simple question can save thousands over a lifetime. But avoiding waste is only the beginning. To truly understand why Japanese people rarely waste money, you must understand the hidden psychology of restraint. This brings us to another powerful concept called Hara Hachi Bu, pronounced Hara Hachi Bu. Its literal meaning is simple: eat until you are 80% full. For centuries, people in Okinawa have practiced this principle. At first glance, it seems unrelated to money. But look deeper and you discover that Hara Hachi Bu is not really about food. It is about knowing when enough is enough. Researchers studying Okinawan longevity noticed that people often consumed fewer calories while maintaining remarkable health and longevity. What fascinated scientists was not just what they ate but how they ate. They stopped before reaching excess, before discomfort, before overconsumption. Think about how unusual that is in the modern world. Everywhere you look, there is pressure to consume more. More food, more entertainment, more shopping. More upgrades, more everything. Hara Hachi Bu teaches a radically different lesson. Enough is a complete sentence. When you apply this philosophy to money, something powerful happens. You stop asking, what else can I buy? And start asking, what is already enough? That shift changes everything because endless desire has no finish line. There will always be a newer phone, a bigger house, a trendier product, a more expensive version. If your happiness depends on reaching the next level, peace remains permanently out of reach. But when you learn to recognize enough, your financial life becomes calmer, lighter, and more intentional. Then comes the final concept, a concept that quietly ties everything together. It is called ma, pronounced ma. Its literal translation is the space between things. At first, this sounds strange. How can empty space have value? How can nothing create something meaningful? Yet in Japan, ma appears everywhere. In traditional architecture, in gardens, in art, in conversation. Walk into a traditional Japanese room and you may notice something unusual. Less furniture, fewer decorations, more open space. To some people it appears empty. To the Japanese mind it appears complete. Because ma teaches that value does not come from filling every corner. Value comes from creating space. The same principle applies to money. Much of modern financial stress comes from overcrowding life. Too many subscriptions, too many purchases, too many obligations, too many things competing for your attention. The result is not abundance. It is noise. Psychologist Richard Ryan of the University of Rochester and other researchers studying materialism found that people who place excessive importance on possessions often experience lower well-being and greater anxiety. The reason is simple. When your identity depends on what you own, satisfaction becomes fragile. There is always something missing, something newer, something better. But ma creates breathing room. Instead of filling every gap with spending, you allow space to exist. You stop treating every desire as an emergency. You stop chasing every trend. You stop confusing consumption with progress. And slowly, money begins to accumulate almost by accident. Not because you became obsessed with saving, but because you became comfortable with space, comfortable with enough, and comfortable with yourself. That is the hidden secret many people miss. The wealthiest mindset is not wanting everything, it is needing less. Tonight, try 3 simple actions. First, practice the Mottainai pause. Before purchasing anything, wait 24 hours and ask yourself whether you truly need it or simply want the feeling attached to it. Second, apply the Hara Hachi Bu rule to spending. Instead of using 100% of your budget, stop at 80%. Leave space, leave margin, leave room for your future self. Third, create financial ma. Cancel one unnecessary subscription. Remove one item from your online cart. Avoid one impulse purchase. Clear one shelf in your home. Small actions may seem insignificant, but small actions repeated consistently create extraordinary results because wealth is rarely built in dramatic moments. It is built quietly, one decision at a time. Now return to that man in Kyoto, the one sitting quietly at the wooden table. His life looks ordinary, his breakfast is simple, his apartment is modest, nothing about him appears rich. And yet he possesses something many people spend years searching for. Enough money, enough possessions, enough peace. The world constantly tells you that happiness is waiting on the other side of another purchase, another upgrade, another achievement. But the Japanese ideas we explored today suggest something very different. Mottainai reminds you to respect value. Hara Hachi Bu reminds you to stop before excess. Ma reminds you to create space. Together, these ideas reveal a powerful truth. Wealth is not just what remains in your bank account. It is what remains in your mind when the need for more finally becomes quiet. So tonight, before you buy something, pause, look around. Appreciate what you already have. You may discover that the life you have been trying to purchase is already closer than you think. If this video helped you see money differently, share this with one person who needs to hear this. And remember, the goal is not to become rich overnight. The goal is to become free. I will see you in the next one. This video is intended for educational and informational purposes only. The concepts discussed are inspired by Japanese cultural philosophies and publicly available research. They are not financial, legal, or investment advice. Individual circumstances vary, and viewers should conduct their own research or consult qualified professionals before making financial decisions.